In a world where relationships can feel like navigating a maze of emotions and uncertainties, understanding the mind of a man might seem like an impossible task. We often ask ourselves, how do I make him notice me? Or, what makes him think about me long after I'm gone? But here's the truth. It's not about grand gestures or perfectly chosen words. It's about mastering something far deeper, understanding the emotions that drive him and aligning them with your authentic self. At the core of every lasting connection lies a profound truth. Men, like anyone else, are drawn to what feels real, confident, and emotionally engaging. This isn't about manipulation or trying harder. It's about discovering what excites him, cultivating an air of mystery, and building a foundation rooted in respect, balance, and emotional connection. Imagine this. Instead of chasing attention, you naturally captivate his thoughts by living a life filled with confidence, independence, and purpose. This is where the principles of Stoic philosophy come into play, focusing on self-control, emotional composure, and finding peace within. When you embrace these lessons, not only do you become more magnetic, but you also set the stage for a relationship that's truly meaningful. So, stay with me as I reveal the most effective ways to apply these timeless principles. Don't forget to share this with someone who needs it, and tell me your story in the comments below. Your journey starts here. 1. Discover what excites him in relationships. The deepest connections are not built on surface-level conversations, but on emotional resonance. Men may seem composed or reserved on the outside, but their hearts, like ours, are ruled by emotions. To leave a lasting impression, you must tap into what genuinely excites and inspires him. It's not about guessing, it's about listening, observing, and showing interest in his unique world. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This principle is vital here. Instead of dominating the conversation with your thoughts, turn your attention to him. Ask meaningful questions that uncover his passions and dreams. What lights up his face when he talks? Is it his career, a creative project, or even a simple hobby like photography? When you show interest, you're not just engaging in conversation, you're validating his identity. Imagine he's passionate about photography. Ask him about the photos he's most proud of. You could say, "What inspired you to take this shot? The composition is so unique." This simple act of curiosity can deepen your bond, even if photography isn't your area of expertise. You're not expected to be an expert. Your genuine interest in what makes him tick is what counts. Emotional connections are strengthened when you share laughter and vulnerability. Humor is a universal emotional trigger. Playful teasing or reminiscing about a funny memory can create a joyful bond. For example, if he tells you about an embarrassing moment during his photography sessions, respond with a light-hearted comment like, "Well, at least you didn't fall into a lake for the perfect shot." This exchange fosters a sense of ease and shared joy, making you memorable in the best way. Similarly, don't shy away from moments of vulnerability. Sharing a personal story about a challenge you overcame invites him to do the same. When he feels safe opening up, the emotional connection between you strengthens. Perhaps he talks about a dream project he's working on. Instead of just nodding, go deeper. Ask questions like, "What inspired you to pursue this? What excites you most about it?" These questions show you're not only listening, but also genuinely invested in his journey. It's also important to notice the little things he values. Men often seek validation and admiration, not superficial flattery, but recognition of their efforts. Instead of saying, "You're so talented," try something more specific like, "The way you capture light in your photos is incredible. It really tells a story." Specific compliments show that you're paying attention to details, and this makes a significant impact. Balance these moments of connection with authenticity. Don't feign interest or exaggerate your reactions. Men, like anyone, can sense insincerity. Stay true to yourself and focus on building a connection rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Let's not forget that emotional connection isn't all about words. Nonverbal cues like a genuine smile, maintaining eye contact, or leaning in slightly during a conversation can convey warmth and attentiveness. These subtle gestures create an atmosphere of trust and intimacy without saying a word. By exploring what excites him, you're not just uncovering his interests, You're showing that his passions matter to you. This effort sets you apart in his mind. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you inspire positive emotions through thoughtful conversations and shared laughter, you become a source of happiness in his life. So next time you're with him, dive deeper. Ask him about the book that changed his perspective, the project that fuels his creativity, or the moment that made him proudest. Your curiosity will ignite his emotions and create a connection that lingers long after the conversation ends. This is how you go beyond the surface and make him think about you. Not just occasionally, but constantly. 2. Cultivate mystery. Mystery is a timeless allure, a captivating force that draws people in and keeps them wondering. In relationships, it's not about withholding who you are or playing games. Instead, it's about creating a space for curiosity to thrive. As Epictetus once said, know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly. By revealing yourself piece by piece, you allow a man to see you for the fascinating, multi-dimensional person you truly are. Imagine a beautiful, intricate novel. If you were handed every plot twist and secret in the first chapter, would you feel compelled to keep reading? The same is true in relationships. You are the story, and how you choose to unfold your narrative matters. When you allow him to discover you gradually, each new layer becomes a reward. A glimpse into the richness of your personality, passions, and dreams. One way to cultivate mystery is to pace your conversations. Instead of divulging your entire life story on the first date, share a single vivid detail. For instance, if he asks about your hobbies, you might say, I recently started learning about Stoicism. It's fascinating how it teaches us to focus on what we can control. By leaving room for questions, you invite him to engage and explore further. Mystery also lives in the way you carry yourself. Confidence paired with subtle unpredictability creates an irresistible dynamic. For example, rather than always texting back immediately, respond thoughtfully when it feels natural. This isn't about being aloof, but about showing that your time is valuable and your life is full. It sends a powerful message. I am whole on my own, but I'm choosing to share my time with you. Incorporating small, unexpected surprises can also enhance this sense of intrigue. If he shares his passion for photography, instead of a generic compliment, you might say, I saw a photo the other day that reminded me of your style. It was all about capturing light in a unique way. You'd probably appreciate it. This shows that you're paying attention to his interests while subtly introducing your own thoughtful perspective. Mystery extends beyond words and actions. It's also in the energy you bring. Body language plays a powerful role in cultivating intrigue. A brief, meaningful glance across the room, a playful smile during a conversation, or a light touch on his arm during a shared laugh can speak volumes. These subtle gestures create a sense of closeness without overwhelming the moment. It's essential, however, to balance mystery with authenticity. This isn't about pretending to be someone you're not, or withholding your feelings to appear distant. Men, like anyone, are drawn to what feels real and genuine. The goal is to reveal your true self over time. Giving him the joy of discovering who you are piece by piece. Let him wonder a little. You're an entire world of experiences, dreams, and stories. Don't rush to share everything all at once. Instead, think of yourself as a mosaic, each piece a unique and intriguing part of the whole. With every interaction, he uncovers another fragment of the magic that makes you, you. Remember, mystery isn't about creating distance, it's about building anticipation. When he reflects on your conversations or recalls the way your eyes lit up when you spoke about your passion, he'll find himself drawn back to you again and again. This emotional resonance is what makes a connection unforgettable. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By allowing a man's imagination to wander and his emotions to engage, you create a connection that stays with him long after the moment has passed. Mystery, when paired with authenticity and confidence, is not just alluring, it's magnetic. So as you move forward, remember that cultivating mystery is an art. It's about leaving space for curiosity, sharing just enough to invite connection, and embracing your unique depth. In doing so, you not only make him think about you, you become unforgettable. 3. Confidence is key. Confidence is the quiet force that speaks volumes before you even say a word. It's not about being the loudest in the room or knowing all the answers. It's about owning who you are, your strengths, your quirks, and even your imperfections. When you embrace yourself fully, you radiate an energy that draws others in. This is the essence of confidence, being unapologetically authentic. Think of confidence as a lighthouse in a storm. It doesn't chase ships or try to prove its worth. It simply stands tall, shining its light, guiding others toward it. In relationships, confidence isn't about impressing someone else. It's about showing them that you value yourself. When you love and accept yourself, it shifts the dynamic. You stop seeking validation and instead become the person others naturally gravitate toward. So how do you cultivate this magnetic confidence? Start with your mindset. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Confidence begins internally in how you perceive yourself. Focus on what you can control, your actions, your attitude, and your self-belief. Let go of trying to meet others' expectations, and instead ask yourself, what do I truly value, and how can I align my life with that? Your body language is another powerful tool. Stand tall, maintain eye contact, and let your movements be deliberate. These subtle shifts in posture not only project confidence outward, but also reinforce it within. For example, imagine walking into a room with your shoulders back and head held high. This simple action signals self-assurance, even if you're feeling nervous inside. Over time, these deliberate actions become second nature, transforming how you see yourself and how others perceive you. Confidence also thrives when you pursue what you're passionate about. When you immerse yourself in something you love, whether it's painting, running, or learning a new skill, you remind yourself of your capabilities. This passion becomes a source of pride and fulfillment, which naturally enhances your self-esteem. For instance, if you've always wanted to explore photography, start now. Not only will you develop a skill, but you'll also have something meaningful to share in conversations, making you more dynamic and intriguing. But confidence isn't about being flawless. It's about embracing your imperfections. No one is immune to self-doubt. It's human to feel insecure at times. The difference lies in not letting those insecurities define you. As you navigate relationships, remember this: you are enough just as you are. When you believe in your inherent worth, you give others permission to see and appreciate the real you. Imagine this scenario. You're on a date, and instead of trying to impress with rehearsed stories or carefully crafted lines, you're simply present. You listen attentively, share your thoughts honestly, and don't shy away from admitting, I don't know much about that, but I'd love to learn more. This level of authenticity is refreshing, and it leaves a lasting impression because it shows confidence without arrogance. Confidence also means setting boundaries. It's knowing your worth and refusing to settle for less than you deserve. If something doesn't align with your values or brings you discomfort, it's okay to say no. This might feel daunting at first, but it's one of the most empowering acts you can do for yourself. People respect those who respect themselves. Lastly, remember that confidence is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you feel unstoppable, and others when self-doubt creeps in. When those moments arise, remind yourself of how far you've come. Reflect on the challenges you've faced and the strength you've shown. Celebrate your growth, no matter how small it seems. As Seneca wisely stated, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Confidence grows every time you take a step outside your comfort zone. Whether it's speaking up in a meeting, pursuing a dream, or simply saying no when you need to, these acts build the foundation for a stronger, more assured you. In the end, confidence is not about perfection, it's about acceptance. When you believe in your worth and embrace the person you are, you become the lighthouse, shining brightly and guiding others toward the warmth of your presence. 4. Understand his perspective. Have you ever wondered what goes on in a man's mind when he seems distant or preoccupied? It's easy to misinterpret silence or a lack of communication as indifference, but often the reality is far more complex. Understanding his perspective requires empathy, patience, and a willingness to see the world through his eyes. This isn't about excusing behavior. It's about fostering a deeper connection by acknowledging the unique way he experiences life. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you cannot control." This wisdom applies beautifully to relationships. Instead of jumping to conclusions or reacting impulsively, pause and consider what he might be feeling or facing. Empathy is the foundation of any strong relationship. When you seek to understand his thoughts and emotions, you create an environment where he feels safe to be himself. For instance, if he seems withdrawn after a long day, resist the urge to assume the worst. Instead, ask a gentle question like, "Is something on your mind? I'm here if you'd like to talk." Sometimes, simply offering your presence without pressuring him to open up is the most supportive thing you can do. Imagine stepping into his shoes for a moment. A man's world is often shaped by societal expectations. Strength, composure, and problem-solving are frequently emphasized. This can make it harder for him to express vulnerability or articulate his emotions. Recognizing this helps you approach him with compassion rather than frustration. For example, if he shares work-related stress, listen actively instead of offering immediate solutions. Phrases like, "That sounds challenging. How are you managing it?" can validate his feelings and encourage him to share more. Another key to understanding his perspective is paying attention to nonverbal cues. Men often communicate through actions rather than words. A small gesture, like fixing something in the house or planning a surprise, might be his way of expressing affection. Look for these signs, and when you notice them, acknowledge and appreciate them. For instance, saying, "I noticed how thoughtful it was of you to take care of that. I really appreciate it," reinforces his efforts and makes him feel seen. At times, understanding his perspective means giving him space. If he's overwhelmed or needs time to process, resist the urge to fill the silence or demand immediate answers. A relationship isn't about constant interaction. It's about respecting each other's individual needs. You might say, "Take your time. I'm here when you're ready." This communicates both patience and support, which strengthens trust. It's also helpful to explore his passions and interests. These are often windows into his inner world. Ask him about what excites him, whether it's a project at work, a favorite hobby, or a personal goal. Show genuine curiosity by asking follow-up questions. What inspired you to start that? Or, how do you feel when you're working on it? This not only helps you understand him better, but also shows that you value the things that matter to him. However, understanding his perspective doesn't mean ignoring your own needs. Relationships are a balance of empathy and self-respect. If there's something bothering you, communicate it calmly and clearly, framing it in a way that invites collaboration. For instance, instead of saying, "You never talk to me about your day," you might say, "I'd love to hear more about what's on your mind. It helps me feel closer to you." This approach encourages dialogue without putting him on the defensive. As Seneca reminds us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Misunderstandings can easily arise when we assume the worst. By seeking to understand his perspective, you minimize unnecessary conflict and create a relationship rooted in mutual respect and trust. Ultimately, understanding his perspective is about recognizing that he is not just your partner, but a person with his own struggles, dreams, and vulnerabilities. When you approach him with empathy and a genuine desire to connect, you not only deepen your bond, but also create a space where both of you can grow together. 5. Nurture balance in the relationship. A healthy relationship thrives on balance. It's the delicate harmony of giving and receiving, where neither person feels overwhelmed nor neglected. Balance is not about keeping score, it's about creating a partnership where both individuals feel valued, respected, and connected. As Epictetus reminds us, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. In love, this translates to focusing on what you can contribute, while also allowing space for the other person to meet you halfway. Think of a relationship as a dance. Sometimes you lead, guiding with intention and care. Other times you follow, trusting your partner's rhythm. The beauty lies in ensuring both of you have the chance to take the spotlight. If you find yourself always taking charge, planning every date, initiating every conversation, it's worth pausing to reflect. Are you giving him the opportunity to step forward and contribute to the relationship? When you notice his efforts, even in small ways, acknowledge them. Gratitude is a cornerstone of balance. For example, if he surprises you by planning a thoughtful evening or taking on a responsibility without being asked, respond with genuine appreciation. A simple, heartfelt statement like, "I really loved what you planned. It made me feel so special," reinforces his actions and encourages him to continue. Likewise, balance means reciprocation. If he's been making the effort to create meaningful moments for you, think of a way to do something equally thoughtful in return. Perhaps you plan an activity he loves, like attending a sports game or exploring a new hiking trail. Or maybe you write him a heartfelt note expressing what you admire about him. These gestures show that you value his presence and contributions, nurturing a sense of partnership. Maintaining balance also requires clear boundaries. In any relationship, it's natural to want to give generously, but overextending yourself, whether emotionally, physically, or mentally, can lead to resentment or burnout. Ask yourself, am I giving more than I can sustain? If the answer is yes, take a step back and reassess. Healthy relationships flourish when both partners invest equally, without one person feeling drained. At the same time, avoid demanding too much from your partner. Balance is about creating an environment where both people feel supported, yet independent. For instance, if he's had a long week, resist the urge to demand his attention immediately. Instead, offer support by saying, "It seems like you've had a lot on your plate this week. How can I help?" This simple act of understanding can go a long way in reinforcing trust and partnership. Balance is also about pacing the relationship. In the excitement of a new connection, it's easy to want to spend every moment together. However, allowing time for personal growth and space ensures that both of you can recharge and bring your best selves to the relationship. Marcus Aurelius captures this beautifully. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By giving yourself time to reflect, pursue passions, and cultivate peace, you enhance not only your own well-being, but also the dynamic of the relationship. A practical example of nurturing balance is to alternate roles in shared responsibilities. If he's usually the one to cook dinner, surprise him by preparing his favorite meal one evening. If you're the one always initiating weekend plans, step back and let him take the lead. This shared effort creates a sense of equality and mutual respect. Lastly, remember that balance doesn't mean perfection. There will be times when one person gives more, and that's okay, as long as it's temporary and reciprocal. Relationships are fluid, and maintaining balance requires ongoing communication and adjustment. When challenges arise, approach them as a team, asking, "How can we handle this together?" In the end, a balanced relationship is one where both individuals feel seen, heard, and valued. It's about creating a partnership that celebrates each person's strengths while supporting each other's growth. Like a beautifully choreographed dance, it's the shared effort that makes the connection thrive. 6. Flirt with finesse. Flirting is an art, and in this art, you are the artist. It's not about being overt or extravagant. Rather, it's the subtle, well-placed gestures and moments that leave an unforgettable impression. Flirting with finesse requires the perfect balance of playfulness, confidence, and authenticity, qualities that effortlessly draw a man's attention and keep it. Think of it like planting a seed. A light touch on his arm during a conversation, a knowing smile at just the right moment, or a playful remark about something you both find amusing. These small gestures stay with him long after the moment has passed. These are the strokes of a master artist, creating a picture he'll return to again and again in his mind. One of the most powerful tools in your arsenal is eye contact. Holding his gaze, even briefly, creates an unspoken connection. It's as if you're saying, "I see you, and I'm intrigued by you." Body language is another key element of flirting. Stand with open, relaxed posture, lean in slightly when he's speaking, and mirror his gestures subtly. These actions create a sense of harmony and connection without feeling forced. For instance, if he shifts his weight or gestures while talking, naturally follow suit. This subconscious synchronization signals interest and creates a sense of closeness. Playfulness is the heart of effective flirting. A light-hearted tease or a shared joke can create an instant bond. For example, if he spills coffee on his shirt, you could quip with a smile, "Well, at least now you have a unique pattern." Coffee couture. Humor breaks down barriers and builds rapport, making your interactions feel effortless and enjoyable. However, flirting with finesse also means knowing when to pull back. Confidence comes from maintaining your independence and showing that, while you're interested, you're not chasing. For example, if you're texting, there's no need to respond immediately to every message. This isn't about playing games, but rather living your life fully and letting him see that your time is valuable. When you leave a bit of space, it creates intrigue and keeps the connection fresh. Balancing interest with self-assurance is vital. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "A person's worth is measured by the worth of what they value." Show him that you value yourself by embracing your independence. Pursue your passions, spend time with friends, and prioritize your own happiness. This confidence is magnetic. It shows him that while you're open to connection, you're complete on your own. Flirting is also about creating memorable moments. It doesn't have to be extravagant. Even something as simple as sharing an inside joke or playfully nicknaming him creates a sense of intimacy that's uniquely yours. These shared experiences become little anchors in his memory, tying him back to the joy and warmth you bring. For instance, if you discover he loves cooking, you might say, "I bet you could teach me how to make the best pasta. I'll bring the appetite, you bring the skills." This playful suggestion not only shows interest but also opens the door for future shared experiences. Lastly, always keep your interactions authentic. Flirting isn't about pretending to be someone you're not or forcing chemistry. It's about highlighting your natural charm and letting your personality shine. When you flirt from a place of authenticity, the connection you create is genuine and lasting. As Seneca wisely noted, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Flirting with finesse is your preparation. It's about creating opportunities for connection, layering moments of intrigue and joy that draw him closer to you without. So, the next time you're with him, remember, flirting is an art and you are the artist. Make every smile, every touch, and every playful word count. These are the brushstrokes of a masterpiece he won't be able to forget. 7. Build anticipation. Anticipation is a powerful force in any relationship. It creates excitement, heightens emotions, and leaves a lasting impression. The art of building anticipation is not about withholding or playing hard to get. It's about creating moments that linger in his mind and make him look forward to your next interaction. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us, what was hard to endure is sweet to recall. The wait, when done right, becomes part of the reward. Think of anticipation as crafting a story with you at the center. If you reveal everything too quickly, the story ends before it has a chance to captivate. Instead, let the narrative unfold at a steady, deliberate pace. Whether it's ending a date on a high note or leaving a conversation with a hint of curiosity, these moments allow him to reflect on you with intrigue and excitement. One effective way to build anticipation is to end interactions gracefully, leaving him wanting more. For example, if you're on a date and the conversation is flowing effortlessly, resist the temptation to let the evening drag on until it loses its charm. Instead, conclude the date at its peak, saying something like, "I've had such a great time tonight. I can't wait to see you again." This leaves a positive, lingering impression and keeps the momentum alive. Another way to cultivate anticipation is by creating shared experiences to look forward to. For instance, if he mentions a love for music, suggest attending a live performance together, but leave the details open. "I've heard there's a great jazz band playing soon. I'll have to tell you more about it later." This not only shows that you're paying attention to his interests, but also builds excitement for the future. Timing is another essential element of anticipation. Avoid rushing to respond to texts or calls immediately. This doesn't mean ignoring him. It's about showing that you value your time and have a fulfilling life outside the relationship. A thoughtful response carries more weight than an instant, casual reply. For instance, when you do reply, make it meaningful. "I was just thinking about that conversation we had. It made me smile. How's your day going?" This approach balances interest with independence. Creating anticipation also involves maintaining a sense of mystery. Share pieces of yourself gradually, allowing him to uncover new layers of who you are over time. Imagine you're a beautifully wrapped gift. Each interaction reveals a little more of what's inside, making the process of discovery exciting and memorable. For example, if he asks about your weekend, you might say, "I spent some time on a project I'm really passionate about. I'll have to tell you more when we meet." This sparks curiosity and leaves him eager to learn more. It's important to remember that anticipation isn't just about withholding, it's about creating value in your time together. When you're fully present during interactions, listening deeply and engaging sincerely, you make those moments unforgettable. The more meaningful the connection, the more he'll look forward to the next opportunity to see you. At its core, building anticipation also involves maintaining your sense of independence. Your happiness and fulfillment should never depend solely on him. When he sees that you have your own passions, goals, and a vibrant life outside the relationship, it not only deepens his respect for you, but also strengthens the anticipation of being part of your world. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By nurturing your own well-being, you elevate the energy you bring to the relationship. Finally, remember that anticipation is a dance between giving and waiting. It's about creating moments that resonate emotionally while leaving room for curiosity. What comes quickly is often taken for granted, but what is anticipated becomes cherished. When you master this art, you're not just someone he enjoys spending time with, you're someone he can't stop thinking about. So, as you navigate your next conversation or date, focus on the quality of the connection and allow the story of your relationship to unfold naturally. What you create together in those moments of anticipation will be worth the wait. As we come to the end of this journey, let's reflect on the timeless principles we've explored together. Building meaningful connections isn't about grand gestures or chasing perfection. It's about understanding the intricate layers of human emotions, fostering trust, and nurturing genuine relationships. At the heart of it all lies authenticity, patience, and a willingness to grow, not just as a partner, but as an individual. From discovering what excites him to cultivating mystery, from embracing confidence to creating anticipation, these strategies are not about manipulation, but about celebrating the beauty of true connection. They're rooted in the understanding that love is as much about giving as it is about receiving. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Apply these lessons with purpose and clarity. Embrace your independence, value your emotions, and never lose sight of your worth. These are the qualities that not only attract but sustain a relationship. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to leave a lasting impression. Now I invite you to share your stories. What strategies have worked for you in building emotional connections? How do you maintain balance in your relationships? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. Together, we can continue this conversation and inspire others to deepen their understanding of love and connection. Your journey doesn't end here. It begins now. Go forward with confidence, clarity, and purpose. The best is yet to come.